Welcome to Spurs Focus, your go-to spot for daily Tottenham news, transfers, and match updates. Don't forget to support the channel by hitting that subscribe button now. Let's dive into today's top story. Thomas Frank is holding his press conference after Tottenham's 2-1 win at Leeds United in the Premier League in Saturday's lunchtime kickoff. Spurs opened the scoring when Rodrigo Bentancur, fresh from signing his new contract, won a ball in the midfield, moved it to Kudus, and the Ghanaian played it into the path of Tel. The Frenchman hit an early shot that deflected past Karl Darlow. Kudus wasted a good chance to double Spurs' tally with an unmarked shot over the bar before Leeds punished his profligacy on 34 minutes. Vicario pushed aside Brendan Aronson's deflected shot, only for Noah Okafor to react faster than Destiny Udogie to bury the loose ball. Tel sent a looping header against the crossbar from Wilson Odebert's cross in added time at the end of the first half. Spurs retook the lead just before the hour mark when Kudus ran onto a loose ball, cut inside and hit a low shot that deflected into the bottom corner. Both sides had chances in the second, with Vicario making a big save from Joel Pirro in the final stages to ensure the hosts left with all 3 points. Our Tottenham correspondent Alasdair Gold is among those putting the questions to Frank after the game. Scroll down for his latest updates from the press conference at Elland Road. We've got the full transcript from Thomas Frank that you can find by going right here, or scroll down for some highlights. You can find our Spurs player ratings as Tottenham ended their pre-international break curse by heading right here. Tottenham won 2-1 at Leeds United in the Premier League on Saturday afternoon. And here are our Spurs player ratings from the match. Thomas Frank made 6 changes to his Tottenham starting lineup after the last gasp draw at Bodo/Glimt in the Champions League on Tuesday night. Spurs went into the game at Elland Road, unbeaten since the last international break, but had a dreadful record in such games, having lost their past 7 consecutive matches before international breaks in the Premier League, which came to an end at Elland Road. Frank had captain Christian Romero back from injury and brought Xavi Simons, Destiny Udogie, Joao Palhinha and Mohamed Kudus back into the starting lineup. Richarlison was rested with Mathys Tel up top in his place. The first chance fell for Leeds when former Spurs man Joe Rodon sent a header from a deep free kick against the right-hand post with Guglielmo Vicario caught in no man's land. Spurs opened the scoring when Rodrigo Bentancur, fresh from signing his new contract, won a ball in the midfield, moved it to Kudus, and the Ghanaian played it into the path of Tel. The Frenchman hit an early shot that deflected past Karl Darlow. Kudus wasted a good chance to double Spurs' tally with an unmarked shot over the bar before Leeds punished his profligacy on 34 minutes. Vicario pushed aside Brendan Aronson's deflected shot, only for Noah Okafor to react faster than Udogie to bury the loose ball. Tel sent a looping header against the crossbar from Wilson Odebert's cross in added time at the end of the first half. Spurs retook the lead just before the hour mark when Kudus ran onto a loose ball, cut inside and hit a low shot that deflected into the bottom corner for his first goal for the club. Both sides had chances in the second half, with Vicario making a big save from Joel Pirro in the final stages to ensure the hosts left with all 3 points. Made a complete mess of an early attempt to get to a free kick that Rodon then headed against the left-hand post. Appeared to be unsighted for Aronson's deflected shot and didn't get the cleanest of contacts. Made a good save from Calvert-Lewin with his foot early in the second half, and then a huge late save from Pirro to ensure Spurs left with the victory. Big second half after that iffy first period. 7 Pedro Porro loose on the ball at times and had to take a few big challenges. Wasn't one of his best games, but still gave everything. 5 Christian Romero in the wars again, taking some hits as he cleared the ball a few times. Frank had to tell him to get back in his box late on as he charged up the pitch, but Spurs just looked better with him at the heart of defence. 8 Mickey van de Ven. A couple of errors, including a late attempt to run out the ball, but overall did the job. 7 Destiny. Udogie went on a great run after being released by Odobert before cutting it to Kudus, when he probably could have taken a shot himself. Reacted far slower than Okafor for the first half leveller. Worked hard in the second half defensively while trying to get up and down the pitch. 6 Rodrigo Bentancur. Fresh from signing his new contract, he used his strength to win the ball in the build-up to Tel's first half goal, Did plenty of covering for Porro in the first half and battled away in the second. 7. João Palhinha powered an early shot over the crossbar from just outside the Leeds box. Looked a little off the pace in the first half and picked up a yellow card for a late attempt at a block. Was better in the second period. 6. Javi Simons flitted between a midfield role and playing up closer to Tell. Threatened to do something special in the first half, but didn't quite manage it. Got sent away by Tell early in the second period, but fluffed his pass with two teammates waiting. Plenty of bark without the bite right now. 6. Mohamed Kudus looked lively from the off and put in some good balls, including the one to Tell for another assist for the Ghanaian. Skied an unmarked effort before Leeds' leveller that would have doubled Spurs' tally. He did find the net with a good run inside and low shot that deflected into the bottom right corner to register his first goal for the North London club. Gave Leeds' defenders nightmares throughout. 9. Matthijs Tel back in the team and grabbed his first goal of the season with a deflected strike midway through the first half. Worked really hard and sent a looping header against the crossbar in added time at the end of the first half. Played a good ball into Xavi's run early in the second half. Took a few knocks and eventually came off with 15 minutes to go. 8. Wilson. Odobert. Some bright moments in the first half, getting into some good positions and played a great ball to release Udogie for a break Kudus should have scored from. Supplied a cross for Tell that his compatriot headed against the woodwork. Played another terrific ball into Xavi's path in the second half. One of his best games of the season, as he did plenty of tracking back as well. 7. Thomas Frank faces a huge test as Tottenham prepare for a tricky trip to Leeds. With fatigue, injuries and rotation headaches, can Spurs stay unbeaten before the international break curse strikes again? Thomas Frank continues to shuffle his pack as Tottenham's matches keep coming at pace with Saturday's Premier League game at Leeds United. Spurs enter the Saturday lunchtime kickoff after returning from Norway and a fortunate scrambled draw at Bodo/Glimt in the Champions League on Tuesday night. Tottenham remain unbeaten since the last international break, but Frank is well aware of the pre-international break curse that has affected the North London club in recent years, with defeats in their past 7 matches in a row, before the players have gone off to represent their countries. The Tottenham boss has Captain Cristian Romero back in action after his contact injury in the draw with Wolves last weekend, and Xavi Simons, Destiny Udogie, João Palhinha and Mohamed Kudus are all likely to come back into the starting lineup after coming off the bench in Bodo. Frank will also have to make a decision on Richarlison, because the Brazilian has had to play a lot of football despite his previous injury issues over recent seasons. Earlier this year, Spurs had injury issues after playing on the artificial turf at Tamworth in the FA Cup, and it could be that now is the time to give Richarlison a rest and not risk injuring him. That would mean Matthijs Tel would come in up top for the trip to what will be a noisy Elland Road this weekend. Here's the team that we reckon Frank could select to face Leeds. 4-3-3, Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, Bentancur, Palhinha, Xavi, Kudus, Tell, Odobert. The agent of Spurs centre-back Radu Dragusin has claimed the Romanian defender will return to action within the next month. Tottenham have been without the 23-year-old, signed from Genoa in January 2024, for an initial £21.5 million, since the beginning of the year, when Dragusin ruptured his ACL in a 3-0 Europa League win over IF Elfsborg. Surgery was successful, however, and the player has been back out on the grass at Hotspur Way in recent weeks as he steps up his recovery. Romania boss Mircea Lucescu recently named Dragusin on his preliminary list of overseas stars, potentially in line for international call-ups for this month's upcoming matches against Moldova and Austria. But Lucescu has since claimed Spurs were not happy about the prospect of Dragusin being rushed back into the international fold, given he is yet to feature at club level. Speaking to Romanian outlet Digisport, Dragusin's agent Florin Manea has since clarified that his client is on the right track and could be back to feature for Spurs in the coming weeks. He said Radu is fine. I don't know if he will be approved to play, especially since he hasn't started full training at Tottenham. I'm glad he's on the list. The moment of his return is approaching. That it will be now or in a month at most, I think Radu will be 100% ready. There is no delay in recovery. The doctor told us that it's best to return from 8 months onwards. Radu will be 8 months from the operation in mid-October. On the contrary, he is ahead with his preparation. There have been players who have stayed for 12 to 13 months, but the idea is not to rush. It is normal to feel Radu's absence from the team. There is no replacement for him. He plays at the level he plays at, and there is a big difference between what is played in England compared to other sides. It is impossible to replace Radu Dragusin at the moment. Speaking ahead of the 1-1 draw with Wolves, Thomas Frank revealed Dragusin was progressing well, and added that his return was not too far off. The Dane said he is progressing well. He's been on the grass for 3 weeks or something like that. So he's progressing well, as he should do. We all know coming back from an ACL is a longer one, so it's on track. It will be some weeks before he's involved in the squad. Spurs are certainly not short of options at the heart of defence. When fit, captain Christian Romero and Mickey van de Ven are virtually undroppable, but Kevin Danso and Dragusin are both adequate stand-in replacements. Luka Vuskovic and Kota Takai also remain big talents for the future.